Today's question comes from Ben in Florida. He writes, I understand tipping 20% at a restaurant when I'm dining in, but am I obligated to tip at a restaurant when I place a to-go order? There's no service provided other than making a meal, and I drove to pick it up. Am I wrong here? I'm curious what your thoughts are with how crazy tipping has become culturally. This has been all over, Dave, as self-checkouts now have tipping screens.
You've
so
done
everyone's
some
exhausted.
really funny bits on this.
There's
Your social
a lot
media
of
stuff. On George Camel, look him up on social media, making fun of the spin tip move, where they spin the thing around at the fast food joint and ask you to tip.
Well, and it's always it's just going to ask you a question. Like you don't know what the question is.
Yeah.
It's always an awkward scenario.
The other one I saw the other day, I was cracking up. And we teach generosity. Let's just be clear, okay? One of the reasons to get your money together is to be crazy generous. But the other one was, it's like, this guy said, I go into a grocery store and they're like, do you want to add $10 for hungry children? He's like, no, I want this mega corporation to pay for hungry children. I'm not adding $10. It's like, oh. Everywhere you go, I'm checking out buying a dog collar. Do you want to help doggy?
Oh, yeah. They have it on online checkout
I mean,
now.
PetSmart's got a thing, right? Everywhere they got a done for $10 for starving something. And listen, I totally believe in taking care of pets. I totally believe in taking care of starving children and all that, but I don't do it at the when I'm checking out. I'm more thoughtful with my generosity and much larger with my generosity than that. Now, having said all that, the spin move this is kind of middle ground here on the to-go order.
It's iffy.
I think. Dining in, I'm outrageously tipping. Valets, I'm outrageously tipping. A, they're out in the rain, the sun. B, they're driving my really nice car, and I don't want Ferris Bueller's Day Out. I'm outrageously tipping. Okay, so, all right, so now we've covered that stuff. I believe in tipping. I always leave a really nice large bill as a tint on the bed when I leave a hotel room.
That's
sitting right there on the end, so it's obvious what it was for the person that's nice enough to clean up that room for me. And I didn't have to make my bed that day. Life is pretty good. So, I tipped. I believe in tipping.
There were some physical services provided.
Tipping at a fast food joint? No. Tipping at the Starbucks line? No. No. Tipping your driver? Sure. Tipping your bellman? You better. Yeah, big time. Be outrageously generous with tipping. This one is kind of in the middle. It's not really fast food. It's a dine-in nice restaurant or a semi-nice restaurant that would have given you the opportunity to tip were you to have sat down and had a waiter, which you did not have. But sometimes they assign a waiter, a host, or a person to work this table.
Yes. And that's the caveat here is there is physical effort involved with packaging up all your stuff, making sure the order's right, adding the utensils, all of that. But it's not the same level of service as I walk up to Dave 17 times to make sure he's got water, make sure he's got what he needs, showed him the menu, recommended some wine, whatever it is. So I don't see it in the same category. I don't tip 20% on to-go orders unless it was a giant group order catering. They outserved me. They were amazing. But generally, it's $1 or $2, maybe 10% on a to-go order, and some people actually force it now. There's one restaurant in town that I get to-go orders from. They have a 10% service fee built in to-go orders. So businesses are just going, we're going to force a gratuity, which I'm not a fan of, but they can do what they want to do, and I'm choosing to participate.
Though. They didn't force you to shop there.
No, so I chose to still eat there.
All right. So
that's the caveat. Yeah. But I don't like the guilted generosity or the forced generosity.
Guilted. That's the thing with the starving children in the grocery store thing. Yeah.
So should you, I think it's a nice thing to do, and I think it's a great reason to get your finances in order, to be able to do that. But if you feel guilted into it, I wouldn't do it out of guilt. I'm going to make eye contact while I spin the screen around and go custom tip 0.00. There we go. That's the way. That's the flex.
Savage, George.
So savage. But I got hate on this, Dave, because we posted a funny meme.
You did get big-time hate on it.
And all the comments, they're saying,
trashed.
I work in the service industry, and I can't believe you don't tip 25% for to-go orders.
You don't work in the service industry if you work in fast food. Let me help you with this. You work in a fast food place. That's not the service industry. The service industry is where you provide service, not where you hand food over the counter that someone else cooked. No, I'm sorry, you're a cashier if you work in the fast food.
Well,
service.
where does the line end, Dave? Our grocery stores? Are we going to start tipping? I mean, they bag our groceries. Should we not tip
if the
them?
guy takes them to my car, those guys, absolutely.
They're getting a tip.
Absolutely.
But just for scanning it through the checkout line, I don't think it qualifies as gratuity.
Yeah. And I was in Mexico and went to a nice, they have a whole different set of customs, right? A nice grocery store, a high-end grocery store, so to speak, if you can get that right in your head. But
it's the Whole Foods of Mexico.
This is a nice place, and they don't do bags. You bring your own bag, right? And if you don't have your own bag, there's these nice little 90-year-old Mexican ladies standing at the end of the thing, boxing the stuff up in boxes that they brought from the back and helping you out. And I always overtip those ladies. There's just something about them that just says big money, big money. So, yeah, I want to do that for sure. This one, I'm kind of going to be 50-50. I got two thoughts on it. One is I don't want to be guilted into anything. I'm with you. And B, there's very few times, I say never, almost never have I regretted being generous. There's very few times I look back, unless I was guilted into it. Okay, but there's very few times I look back that, not counting being guilted.
Wish I didn't give them that $5, that $10.
I because they're in there working, and I'm just trying. I'm doing well. God's blessed me. Why not? Why not? Just be easy with it. Don't be so dadgum hard case. But I do resent this spin thing at the counter, and that is guilting. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the $10 thing. I skip the starving children add-on at the thing. I'll take care of starving children through one of the ministries that the Ramsey Foundation
that you vetted,
that we
you
support,
trust.
that we vetted, and that we spend a whole lot more than $10. I can promise you that, and give a whole lot more than $10 to that. So we're doing our part, so to speak, but just not through XYZ grocery store.
Yeah, usually there's a compliment as they spin it. That's, hey, I love your hair. You ever get one of those?
They never say that to me, George.
Oh.
I never get love your hair.
That's sad. If they tried that, you'd get
George.
a really big tip from Dave if you
George,
tried that.
It never comes up. It wouldn't, because that would not be real. It would be.
Well, there's an expectation. If Dave Ramsey walks
What are you, a smart ankle? You love my hair. What are you like? What's wrong with you?
But do you feel pressure as a public figure, known for money and generosity?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No,
they're going to tell this story.
And when in
good and bad.
when in doubt, if I'm going to give them a Dave story, it ought to be a good one.
That's right.
So when in doubt, God's given me a lot of money to manage, and so it's easy. I don't feel guilty about. But I'm just very careful. And Sharon's like, you way over tip. And I'm like, yep. And when I get to heaven, no one's going to go, nope, you're not getting in here because you over tipped.
You're an over tipper.
It didn't work. St. Peter's never going, nope, you can't come in. You over tipped, Dave. It's bad use of money. Because to me, it's a form of generosity in the appropriate situations. This one's right down the middle for me. So I'm trying to visualize walking in, because I don't do this very often. Yeah, like if we go to get a bunch of barbecue, like you said, a big order.
That's what I'm saying.
Like we got a family reunion coming up. Sharon will send me up to the barbecue place, and I'm picking up like boxes of crap, pickles, like 80 gallons of pickles.
I got to go to these parties.
All this stuff, man. There's a big family. And so when I'm doing that, somebody has worked their tail off on that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to jack that one up. So, but
if Dave's pad thai order,
I have
I don't know.
a single person's order.
That's generally my situation.
I don't personally do that, so I don't know how I would react. I'm probably, when in doubt, though, be generous. It never messes you up. But is it a mandatory cultural thing? No. Is it a generosity move? If you do it, yes.